The local team of archaeologists that put the Philippines on the map of pre-human history says their work is far from done. Beyond its beautiful islands, the Philippines holds a treasure trove of ancient secrets waiting to be uncovered. Among the many discoveries, archaeologists have uncovered relics, including a body found in an unsettling pose and a unique burial tradition where the deceased aren't buried. But what other discoveries have left scientists stunned? Join us to uncover 11 shocking archaeological discoveries in the Philippines that have left scientists puzzled. One of the most shocking finds was in an ancient town, the Lost Ancient Town. What happens when drought-like conditions reveal a town buried underwater for 50 years in the Philippines? It's a discovery that has archaeologists and tourists flocking to Pantabangan. On May 24, 2024, after a long heat wave with hardly any rain, something unexpected happened in the Philippines. The water level in a reservoir in Nueva Ecija dropped so much that it uncovered parts of a submerged church, old gravestones, and the foundations of Pantabangan town, a place that had been hidden underwater for over 50 years. In 2016, an eerie event unfolded when two fishermen off the southern coast of the Philippines stumbled upon an abandoned yacht drifting in the open sea. As they approached, they discovered the mummified remains of Manfred Fritz Berard, a German sailor who had vanished years earlier. His body had been naturally preserved by the warm, salty air, leaving him seated at his desk as if frozen in time. Among his belongings, authorities found a deeply emotional letter addressed to his late wife, which painted a haunting picture of love, loss, and solitude at sea. The mystery surrounding his death, combined with the condition of his remains, left both scientists and the public intrigued by the circumstances of his final voyage. Another extraordinary discovery took place in 2015. Hidden within the deep caves of Timac, archaeologists uncovered a collection of fire-preserved mummies belonging to the Ioe people, an ancient ethnic group in the northern Philippines. The Ioe had mastered a unique mummification process over 1,000 years ago, one that involved smoking the deceased over an extended period. This method effectively dehydrated the body, preventing decomposition and leaving their remains intact for centuries. Some of these mummies still have visible tattoos on their skin, a testament to the meticulous care given to the process. These fire mummies provide rare insights into the burial traditions and spiritual beliefs of the Ioe, emphasizing their reverence for the dead and their desire to preserve their ancestors for generations to come. In 2024, an unexpected archaeological revelation occurred due to an extended drought that caused the water levels in Nueva Ecija's reservoir to drop significantly. As the waters receded, they unveiled the long-forgotten ruin of the 300-year-old town of Pantabangan. The town, submerged in 1970 to make way for a dam, had been hidden beneath the reservoir for over 5 decades. As remnants of the old church, gravestones, and historic buildings resurfaced, locals and historians rushed to witness the rediscovery of their ancestral heritage. The event reignited interest in Pantabangan's past, offering a rare opportunity to connect with a piece of history that had long been thought lost beneath the waters. One of the most groundbreaking discoveries in the Philippines came with the unearthing of fossilized remains belonging to a previously unknown human species, Homo luzonensis. Found within Calao Cave, these small-bodied, tree-climbing humans lived approximately 50,000 to 67,000 years ago. Their presence rewrote the narrative of human evolution, proving that multiple human species coexisted during the same time period. Scientists theorize that Homo luzonensis may have reached Luzon Island either by crossing the sea on makeshift rafts or through natural disasters such as tsunamis. However, their exact origins remain an unsolved mystery, leaving researchers eager to uncover more about their way of life and their eventual disappearance. Further proof of early human ingenuity was found in Taban Cave, located in Palawan. Archaeologists made a stunning discovery of ancient tools specifically designed for fiber weaving, dating back an incredible 40,000 years. This suggests that early humans in the Philippines had already developed advanced fiber processing techniques long before it was previously believed possible. The tools indicate that they were weaving fibers into ropes, baskets, and possibly even crafting early forms of boats, showcasing their resourcefulness and ability to adapt to their environment. This finding challenges previous assumptions about early human technology and suggests that our ancestors were far more innovative than we once thought. Each of these discoveries offers a fascinating glimpse into a past that continues to hold countless secrets. From lost towns that re-emerge from the depths to mummification techniques that defy time, and from undiscovered human ancestors to early technological advancements, the Philippines remains a land rich in historical mysteries. These archaeological finds not only deepen our understanding of ancient civilizations but also remind us that history is still being uncovered one discovery at a time. The story of General Yamashita's treasure began in 1960 when Rogelio Roxas was serving as a soldier in the Philippine Army. One day, he saw a young man around 20 years old lying sick near a barracks. When Roxas found out the man's name was Tulo and that he had no home, family, or job, he took him to the hospital and paid for his treatment with his own money. 2 weeks later, after Tulo was discharged, he shared his story with Roxas. During the Japanese occupation of the Philippines, a Japanese officer had lived with Tulo's sister as her husband. When Japan surrendered, the officer was captured, and Tulo's sister. Afraid of being targeted by resistance fighters, Tulo fled to Sagar Island. Since then, he had never heard from his sister again. Roxas, knowing that Tulo wanted to find his sister, not only bought him a boat ticket but also gave him some money for his journey. Grateful for the kindness, Tulo gave Roxas an old hand-drawn map. According to Tulo, his brother-in-law was one of the officers responsible for burying General Yamashita's treasure, which had been taken from Myanmar and other Southeast Asian countries during World War II. To keep the treasure's location a secret, all soldiers who helped bury it were killed just days before Japan surrendered. Before his capture, Tulo's brother-in-law had given him the map, asking him to keep it safe until his return. In 1949, when prisoners of war were released by the U.S. military, Tulo found out that his brother-in-law had died of malaria in 1945. With no money or home, he lived in a monastery and never attempted to search for the treasure. At the time, many people were spreading rumors about Yamashita's gold. Some even tricked investors into funding treasure hunts only to disappear once they had collected enough money. Because of this, Tulo feared that if he revealed the map, people would accuse him of being a fraud. Instead, he gave it to Roxas, hoping that if he found the treasure, they could share it. In 1967, Roxas left the military. From then until 1970, while working as a locksmith, he continued searching for the treasure's location. By early 1971, he had deciphered all the symbols on the map and realized that the treasure was buried near an abandoned hospital in Baguio City, northern Luzon. He quickly applied for permission to dig and received approval from Judge P.O. Marcos. He then hired workers, all of them family members, and began excavation. Using a small generator for lighting, they worked day and night with hand tools like pickaxes, shovels, and crowbars. On the night of January 23, 1971, Roxas and his team found the entrance to a tunnel about 9 meters deep. After breaking through a brick wall, they discovered tangled electrical wires, a radio transmitter, several beads, and a few rusty rifles. Nearby, they saw a human skeleton wearing a Japanese army uniform. The next day, on January 24, the team broke through 2 more concrete walls and uncovered a golden Buddha statue about 0.9 meters tall. It was so heavy that it took 10 workers using ropes and pulleys to lift it out of the ground. That night, Roxas took the statue home, hid it in a private room, and took photographs as proof of his discovery. At that time, Philippine law stated that anyone who found an unclaimed treasure was entitled to 70% of its value. According to Roxas, the Buddha statue's head was detachable, and inside was a hidden compartment filled with uncut diamonds. The next day, he and his workers returned to the tunnel. About 15 meters from where they found the statue, they discovered several tin containers that looked like modern beer cans but were lined with wood. When they opened them, they found 24 gold bars. Roxas took them home along with a samurai sword, several beads, and other items used by Japanese soldiers, such as rice bowls and canteens. He then sealed the tunnel entrance with explosives, knowing that what he had found was only a small part of General Yashida's treasure. In the following weeks, Roxas visited the Baguio court twice to meet with Judge P.O. Marcos and officially claim his share of the treasure. However, he was unable to meet him. To pay his workers, he sold 7 gold bars, promising them a generous reward once he sold the Buddha statue. By early March 1971, Roxas had found a buyer, Kenneth Cham, a representative of a British company. To confirm that the statue was made of gold, Cham drilled a small hole under its left arm and had it tested. The results showed it was 99.99% pure gold. Another buyer, L.S. Mendoza, also tested it with nitric acid, confirming its purity was over 99%. Meanwhile, another fascinating discovery was made on Sagar Island, the fossil of a previously unknown dwarf buffalo species named Bubulus cebuensis by American researchers. This tiny buffalo lived thousands of years ago during the Pleistocene era and was about the size of a large sheep. Its fossilized bones were first discovered over 50 years ago by an American mining engineer, but only recently were they brought to the Field Museum in Chicago for proper identification. The dwarf buffalo stood just 2.5 feet tall and weighed around 350 pounds, much smaller than today's Asian buffalo, which stands about 5.9 feet tall and weighs over 1,980 pounds. Even the smallest known buffalo species, Bubulus mindorensis from Mindoro Island, is larger, standing at 3.3 feet tall and weighing over 500 pounds. Scientists believe that the buffalo's small size was an adaptation to island life, where animals often shrink due to limited food and the absence of large predators, a process known as insular dwarfism. This phenomenon isn't limited to animals. Some researchers believe that ancient human populations also experienced similar changes. A famous example is the Hobbit people of Flores Island in Indonesia. Scientists are still debating whether they were a new human species or just Homo sapiens affected by a genetic condition called microcephaly. These fascinating archaeological discoveries in the Philippines continue to amaze scientists and challenge what we know about history. From lost treasures and perfectly preserved mummies to ancient technologies, each finding brings new insights into the evolution and development of civilizations. However, many of these discoveries also raise more questions than answers. Researchers are working tirelessly to uncover the truth, hoping to solve mysteries that have remained unsolved for thousands of years. These findings not only enrich our understanding of history but also give us the opportunity to rethink the past. What do you think about these discoveries? Share your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.